when I was 17 years old, I caught a double attempted murder charge. I was facing 40 years. Superior Court downtown, got found not guilty. That right there.
That's monumental.
Absolutely. God gave me a second chance at life.
Look at the game switch.
Hey, shut up. Lieutenant made this one.
It's BNF Podcast, man. It's been a long time since I shot an episode. We took a little break, but we back. It's the fourth quarter. So you know I had to come back to finish the year strong. I appreciate everybody still hitting me up like, yo, what's going on? I'm still here. Don't worry, I ain't retired, man. I'm just chilling. Just took a little break, man. You know, we've been going so hard. I feel like we needed a little time out to regroup and just to finish the year strong. A lot I want to talk about. Before I introduce the special guests I have today, I want to give some flowers out. I want to shout out to our sponsors for today. Shout out to Gourmet Kitchen. Check them out, 1179 North Main Street. Gourmet Kitchen. They got this Caribbean chopped cheese, and that shit's fire. Make sure you check them out. They got them with salmon. You got chicken. You got beef. Chopped cheese. Check them out. Like I said, 1179 North Main Street, Gourmet Kitchen. Thank you for sponsoring this episode. I like to give some flowers out to a lot of niggas who's been holding it down in the city, especially during the summer. Shout out to my bro Duke with Bent Sunset. Had the whole city lit with the day parties, and you just gave that black culture and you let other people outside the city and everybody in the city give a chance for them to enjoy themselves, and you held it down. I'm proud of you. Keep doing your thing. Shout out to 456 clothing line, man. I see y'all niggas got a lot of motion out here. Y'all niggas are doing y'all thing. Y'all niggas are getting active with the community. I love what y'all doing. Keep doing y'all thing, man. That's why I'm trying to encourage niggas, and I'm giving y'all niggas y'all flowers. I'm paying attention, and I'm saluting y'all niggas. Shout out to my bro King Bricks too. I love the growth. I love what you're doing. The mental health awareness, physical awareness. You got niggas working out. I see you at the Reggie Lewis Center. I see you being active in the community and you doing work. And to me, it's tremendous growth on your part, man. I'm proud of you, and I'm encouraging you to keep going and keep this shit going. So I'm just giving flowers to these brothers, man. And I can't forget Mike motherfucking D's, bro. I love what you're doing for the community. I love what you're doing for the city. Keep putting on. You're making the town look good, man. I salute you. I love what you're doing, bro. People keep asking me, like, will we do a collab? Nah, I respect your lane. You keep doing your thing, man. I'm just saluting you. And I just love what you're doing. I'm just trying to encourage everybody to keep doing what y'all doing, man. And I support it. I love it. I just had to give y'all, you know, y'all flowers, man. This is like just me showing love and respect this whole episode to niggas, bro. Because the guest I have today, I got to give him his flowers too. You know, I have a special guest with me, and we're going to talk about his longevity in the game. We're going to talk about his impact in the game and also in the city. I think he's a pillar of the community. This guy's a great guy. I don't care whatever anybody say about him. This dude is one of them guys, man. And since I was a youngin', I've been hearing his name. And he's always been putting on. And he's always screaming out Boston. And he's always making Boston look good. And he's always repping, man. I think he's an iconic figure from the town. I think he's a legendary figure from the town. And it's longevity. He's still here today, man. Shout out to motherfucking Smoke Bozier in the motherfucking building. Hand clap for this guy, man. Yeah, man. I'm just showing love, man. And that's the type of bag I'm in today, is just, you know, showing love. We don't do that. We come from a city where it's hard for us to show love.
Absolutely.
Good thing LeBron James didn't come from Boston, because niggas would say he sucks. Yeah, niggas would say y'all used to fuck his bitch in high school. I dunked at that nigga in 5th grade. That's the type of, you know, town we come from, where it's hard for us to just salute a nigga just doing his thing, bro. And
absolutely, and it don't cost nothing, man, to show love. And honestly, I want to give you your flowers today,
I want to take a shot with you, my brother.
Let's do it.
To longevity and much success to you, man.
Definitely. Salute on that.
You know that.
Let's do it. Yeah, this tastes expensive.
Woo. You know, man. You know who I got here, man. I got Smoke motherfucking Mojo in the motherfucking building,
Yes,
bro.
sir.
How you
know
feeling?
what it is,
How
man.
you feeling?
I'm feeling great, man. I'm feeling marvelous like Hagler, man. You know what I'm saying? I feel real good, man. I'm in a great position, a great point of life, man, to where everything is just good right now.
One thing about you, it seems like you always had that attitude. I never see you sweating. Every time somebody asks you a question, the camera's on, you're just always feeling good. It's always positive energy, positive vibes with you.
Yeah, man. I think that's what keep me going. You know what I'm saying? I keep a positive aspect on everything. When I look at life, I've been through a lot of things, and if I didn't have a positive outlook on life, I probably would have tapped out in this shit a long time ago. You know what I'm saying?
No, that's facts. I agree with you, man. Sometimes some people just negative, man, and if you get into your own head and you're always thinking, you know,
You in your own way.
yeah,
Man.
you're playing victim and shit like that. You know, life is challenging, bro.
Absolutely. I say the life of a hustler is like a roller coaster ride, man. You go
Talk
up
about
slow,
it. Talk
you come
about it.
down fast.
Yeah.
But then you come up again. You know what I'm saying? You just gotta put your hands up and enjoy the ride, man. Be ready for the ride, man. Buckle up.
Let's be honest, right? For a second. Everything you've been through in your life, the ups, the downs, the roller coaster ride, did you always see yourself still here, still doing your thing, still signing deals, still getting to it?
Man, ever since a kid, I've been a visionary, right? I seen this for me. You know, I seen more. And it's like, this is God's plan. This is something I work for, you know what I mean? This shit hard earned. So at the end of the day, when you work for something and you work at it and you never give up, it's like the meme. You ever seen the meme where dude chipping away at the rock and then the diamond's right behind it and he give up, but it was right there.
It was right there.
You know, that's what life's like, man. You got to keep chipping away at this shit. So with me, man, I just never give up, man. I just keep it full steam ahead. You know what I mean? Keep moving along.
Manifesting stuff, manifestation. I'm a big believer in that, man.
Me too.
I read the book, the Bible of Prosperity, man, and it just talked about just putting certain shit in the universe and you will attract it. And I was talking to somebody today and she was telling me about, you know what, I don't think I'm gonna be successful in this is because I just don't see it. Like I don't see it within the 5 years, and that's the issue. You don't see it. You gotta vision that shit. You gotta believe that shit. I don't care how hard it is. I don't care what the fuck you going through. You really gotta see it, dog, to believe it. Cause if you don't see it, then how is it ever gonna become true? You feel me? You envisioned it.
Absolutely.
You knew you would be here. That's why you still here today.
Yeah, and you know, I remember when I was a young nigga, man, I used to try to figure this shit out. Before I got my first dollar in my pocket, I used to watch my homie, you know what I mean? My homie, he here with me today. You know what I'm saying?
Shout out to your homie, man.
Yeah. His sister's boyfriend, he used to be one of them guys back in the day. And I used to watch him going up the hill every day. He used to have this midnight blue BMW drop top joint. And me, you know, I used to be like, man, I gotta figure out how I'm gonna put up money for my rap shit. This before I was getting money, you know what I'm saying? You know, shout out to Twiz, man. Twiz was doing his thing, man. And you know, me even back then, I was a thinker's thinker. So I figured out a way to get Twiz to invest in me. And that's how I put out my first CD. I would watch him drive up in that midnight blue BMW every time the light bulb popped over my head like, yeah, that's my investor right there. And all I did as a kid, I just put my own business plan together in my head, and I approached them, and then, you know, the
So
rest
you
is
always
history.
been business minded.
Absolutely. You know what I'm saying? Very creative being a lefty, you know what I'm saying? So I'm always thinking out the box, but always thinking business minded since I was a kid. me and my brother Rock, that's what we was on from the beginning of this shit. It was about business.
For the audience who don't know, I know where you from.
Mm-hmm.
What part of Boston you from? Because you got the haters, you got a lot of niggas who'll talk, or the younger niggas who don't know.
These Reddit gangsters.
let us know, like, are you from Boston? Can you let the public know?
I am Boston. You know what I mean? I make this shit look good, and I've been doing that on a high level for years. You know what I mean? I was born in the South End. Shout out to the South End. You know what I'm saying? My moms and pops raised in the South End. My lineage is from the South End originally. I was born in South End, but I moved to Dorchester when I was 12 years old. So I feel like, you know what I mean? The Chester raised me. Mm-hmm. The Chester turned me to a man. When I moved to the Chester, boy, you know,
it's a different
I
place.
had to earn it. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? I was on that 15 bus fighting every other day. You know what I'm saying? But I earned it. I had to earn my respect. And most of my friends, the majority of my friends, some that's still here with me right now, you know what I mean, present in the room, they've been my friends since the beginning. So I learned camaraderie in Dorchester. South End was the foundation, but I was raised in Dorchester.
Okay. Because I see you always showing love to South End.
Mm-hmm, definitely.
Even Roxbury.
I got ties always because my older cousins was from Roxbury. You know what I'm saying?
You always showing love all over the different
pen
parts.
everywhere, man.
You got to.
Mm-hmm.
How did you grow up? Did you grow up privileged? Because I know you be on your super fly shit, fly whips. Mm-hmm. You know, the clothes, the jewelry. Were you a kid that always had it your way? Your parents gave you whatever you want? Did you grow up in a privileged household?
Nah.
Honestly.
Of course, we're going to be honest. This is just nothing but real language here. You know what I'm saying?
Some niggas have pianos in their living room and they be lying.
Yeah, nah, we ain't had pianos, but I grew up with my moms and my pops. You know what I'm saying? But my pops was a real nigga. Still is to this day. Anybody that know Al, they know what time it is. You know what I'm saying?
Where's your pops from? Is he from South End?
Yeah, he's from the South End.
Okay.
From Lenox.
Okay.
So, you know, my moms and pops, I grew up with my moms and pops. Was I privileged? I had a great life, but I'm the oldest of 7 kids. I tell niggas all the time, I ain't have a pair of Jordans until I could buy them shits for myself. When you the oldest of 7 kids, you gotta learn how to share early in the game. You know what I'm saying?
That's
so
true. Are you the oldest? Are you the oldest?
Yeah.
So niggas was borrowing your shit.
Absolutely. Well, you know, when it come down the line, we lined it up like that. But me growing up, me and Rock, you know what I'm saying? We didn't have no older brothers, so we had to get out there and get it. And a lot of the times, we didn't have all the clothes that the kids had. But my parents, they did their best. When it was Christmas time and shit like that, we had it. You know what I'm saying? But we had to make that shit stretch with 7 kids in the family. You know what I'm saying?
There was 7 of y'all.
7.
Wow.
7. So, you know, and that's like it is, you know, when you in the hood, this shit like a wolf pack mentality, right? When you step out that door, it's a different ball game. You know what I'm saying? When you go to school, it's a gang on every block in Boston. I tell niggas, like, it's different than hoods in LA or New York, to where a whole neighborhood be repping a certain gang or whatever. In Boston, it's a gang on every block, every other corner.
Every street corner,
right?
Different.
So when you going to school every day, you gotta earn it.
Yeah.
So niggas don't give a fuck about your father at home. You know what I mean? Nobody, you gotta earn this shit out here. You feel me?
Yeah, that's a
and
fact.
That really didn't change nothing, because me and Rock,
that's like a
I
detention
said,
center going to school.
Yeah. We had to earn it, man. You know what I'm saying? Coming from being the oldest of 7 kids, everything was hard earned, bro. You know what I'm saying? My pops, it was one income in the crib, but we still maintained, but we had to earn it.
The era that you grew up in obviously is different from the era, you know, kids are experiencing today. How hard was it? Like you said, like, nigga, going to school, it was different. It was Tetris. Like, you had different hoods and all that. Like, how was it growing up in your era? Because in your era, like you said, you had to earn it, even to make money outside. You just couldn't be just a fucking little TT from fucking, this neighborhood and you out. Nah, you had to really be somebody to be outside to get a couple of dollars. How was it growing up in that era?
It was different, man. You know what I'm saying? You really had to earn it. We ain't too far off from this era, but you just had to earn it. You know what I mean? Coming up,
you don't think we're too far?
Nah.
From what I heard, it seems like it's not the same. Not saying it's a little bit more watered down from what I hear, because a lot of niggas who's getting money now, they would say, "Nigga, you couldn't get money back when I was around. Ain't no way." A lot of these niggas running around with you couldn't have that back in the day. That's what I would hear from niggas who was living in a certain era.
In the hood, you know what I'm saying? It definitely was different, but you still have elements of that now. Back then, you had the stick-up kids running around. You had different, you know what I'm saying, the gang shit. Like I said, the game don't really change, just the players. Certain elements of it change, but the shit don't really change.
Understood.
You know what I'm saying?
Understood.
So, back then, yeah, you had to earn it. You definitely had to earn it coming off the porch. You had to be on top of that. Because like I said, even going to school, getting on a bus, it was a different gang getting on at every stop. You know what I mean?
How did that mold you though?
Shit.
How did that build you?
That shit built me, because I remember going to pick up my brother from the Timothy one day, and it was some kids out on the corner that I had some shit with during the summer, and one of them ran down on me and drew down on me. You feel me?
It's like middle school. This
what I'm telling you. So that shit just changed me and Rock's whole perspective on shit. You know what I mean? We walked back to the crib crying and shit, but we vowed that was the last time. We start carrying our Pop's gun at that point. It started getting
at
serious.
At an early age.
Pops would tell us where the gun was at in case he wasn't at the crib, because he was always working. So he'd be like, you gotta protect the family. This where this is at. You know what I'm saying? So from that, we knew where it was at. We start taking that shit outside with us to school, where we was going to parties and shit like that. You know what I mean? So Pops caught me with that shit one day, whooped my ass for that. But at that point, he knew we was already out there.
It seemed like you became a man earlier than you had to be, just because you had so much siblings and you're the older one. You had to be the protector.
Boston to do that to you.
You had to be the protector.
Definitely, but I feel like Boston turned me to a boss before I was even legal. That's real language.
That's how you really feel.
Hell yeah, definitely.
When did you start rapping? When did you get into that lane of just the music lane?
Man, I started rapping around 12 years old, right? When I was around 15 years old, I did a song with Michael Bivins that he had put together with artists from Boston called The Top 10. He had picked 10 different artists from Boston.
Legendary. Mike Bivins is legendary.
Definitely,
No addition.
Definitely.
Shout out
to Mike.
Yes.
That's one of my mentors in this shit. So it's like, when Mike had me ghostwrite something for Ronnie DeVoe on that song.
Oh, that's dope.
Yeah, so from there, ghostwriting something for New Edition, I looked up to them my whole life. So having that opportunity to be able to work with them and put some words together for one of them.
And he chose you to do that.
He chose me out of everybody that was on the song. So for me, that proved to me that my pen was worthy to take me beyond the hood. You know what I mean?
That's crazy.
When I was 17 years old, I caught a double attempted murder charge. I was facing 40 years. Superior Court downtown, got found not guilty. That right there.
That's monumental.
Absolutely. God gave me a second chance at life.
Were you nervous at any point going through that?
Hell yeah, I was on trial for a week, man. You know what I mean? I lost weight and all that. I remember that shit. That shit was stressful, being in that courtroom. And at the time, I ended up with a great lawyer, because they had a youth advocate, like a lawyer, like lawyers that was working pro bono, like good lawyers. I'm talking about top of the line. But they would take on the cases that they wanted to take on. So I ended up with a great lawyer. We gambled. We gambled on that. We took it to a bench trial. Anybody that know what a bench trial is, it's when you let the judge decide. You say
that's scary.
It's very scary.
That's
you know
scary.
what I'm saying? So judge found me not guilty. You know, that changed my life as well.
Any plea deals, or it was just like
nothing? No.
You had to take it straight to the hoop. You had to
straight to the hoop. You know what I mean? At the time, it was my first offense. I was 17 years old, fresh out of high school. Shit was crazy. You know what I mean? So we took it to the hoop, and I got found not guilty. That changed my life. I knew I had a purpose. God had a purpose for me at that point.
After that, you changed any changes in your life after that? Like, okay, you know, I beat this case. I could have spent 40 years, damn near like most of my life in jail. Now I had this opportunity. I'm out here. Now I'm taking this rap shit more seriously. Is that your mindset? I'm going all in with this rap shit.
Absolutely, because my other two co-defendants, they end up getting convicted on another double shooting, and they caught like
that's another case. That was
another case that they caught at the same time.
God damn.
And I was with them every day, and it was just this one day that I didn't go pull up on them. This one day, and I remember my mom's come upstairs. She was like, your man, you know, your friend at the door, whatever. And I went to the door, and I looked in this nigga's eyes. I could see like, yo, homicide looking for me.
Damn.
I'm going on a run, and we fight in the other case. The case is open. So while we was fighting the case, they was already locked up. You know what I'm saying? And my pops, that's what I'm saying. We grew up, me and Rock, we ain't had no OGs. Our pops was our OG. But my pops was smart to even like, when we was on trial, my mens was coming to court with the orange jumpsuits on. And my pops was like, hold on. He made a power play at that moment that probably changed the whole dynamics of that shit. He was like, yo, if I bring two of my suits for them, can we put them in a suit before the jury see them? And they agreed to that. So
why the lawyers not suggesting that?
Hey man, you know what I'm saying? But see, maybe Pop should have been a lawyer. You know what I'm saying? But real language, at the end of the day, that was a power play that might have changed shit. But it's things like that because my pops was in the streets
so
as well.
He knew.
Mm-hmm.
When did you get that deal? Sony Epic deal. Was it when you dropped that song? Smoke Did It, was that the one that got you your first deal? Educate me if I'm wrong.
Yeah, so you in the ballpark because what had happened was I released a compilation with some other guys from the neighborhood. The compilation was Russia and Fast Life.
Fast Life, yeah.
Fast Life, my team, I was representing, you know what I mean, the life.
Those are different labels? Russia's a label?
Yeah, like Russia is like Mass Pike and his crew, you know, but Mass Pike's the one with the name that you would know. Right. So Mass Pike at the time was like a producer, and Fast Life was my team, me, Rock, Ducati, bunch of other good brothers, and at the time they was all in jail. They was in the Bay. So when we recorded this album, a lot of the songs that was recorded was solo songs from me. Okay. You know what I'm saying?
All right.
But I was still representing my team because most of my homies was locked up. So I still was holding that flag, you know what I mean, for my team. And that album charted the billboards 2 weeks in a row. And a whole bunch of labels had seen what we was doing. They seen the numbers, and they started calling up to the record stores at the time, the mom and pop stores like Funky Fresh, Mattapan Music, and they was like, yo, this shit's selling and going crazy, like what's up with them, you know? So from that, we had a few meetings. A few of the meetings, first meeting was at Def Jam. Shout out to Celine Bouwab, you know, that was my A&R.
Hold on. Now, let's talk about the feeling during that time, right? Now you taking this shit serious. The homies is in jail. You just beat a whole murder case. Def Jam is calling, man. What is that like at that time?
Man,
like,
this
what is
shit-
your mind going through?
This shit was
Coming
surreal.
from where we come from, coming
Absolutely.
from Boston, bro.
Because they tell you it can't happen.
Yeah,
when
it
you
can't
come from
happen,
Boston.
yeah.
That's all I used to hear. And you know, like, it's crazy because I had lost my homie too. My best friend passed away on Christmas Eve. So that shit was like,
Man, I'm a Christmas
all in-
Eve baby too.
Yeah,
Shout out
see?
to him, Capricorn shit.
yeah, my dog, man. G
That means
Set.
he was a great guy. I don't even have to know
Yeah,
him. I
he
know
was
he
legendary.
was a great dude.
So for me, man, that shit felt like the world, like all my dreams coming true. We finally made it. We finally proved everybody wrong. They say you can't come out of Boston, it ain't gonna happen coming out of Boston. We did that. You know, we got the labels calling now. We still in the streets, a lot of shit still going on, but we focusing on the music now. The music is the #1 task, you know what I'm saying, at hand. And Def Jam was calling. My man was at Def Jam and he was like, yo, it's a lot going on over here. And it was at the time, a lot of great artists. He's like, yo, I'm about to go to Sony and get this job. When I go to Sony, I want you to be my first artist that I sign. Y'all just got to keep it cool for a few months and just keep that under wraps.
Was that hard for you to do, to keep it cool, to stay out the way while this deal's being worked on?
I just lived my life like it was just a normal day, dog.
So it
I'ma
didn't
keep
even matter.
real.
It didn't
Like,
even
yo,
matter.
so much was going
You got a
on.
deal on the table. You still
shit was
outside
so
doing what you
lit.
gotta do.
Man, shit was going on crazy at the time because I'm already getting money. You know what I mean? We figuring out. I'm doing songs at this time. In the midst of this, I do Smoke Did It.
Smoke did it. Okay, all right.
So I come up with Smoke Did It.
My timeline was a little fucked up.
Once they took that back to the label, they went crazy at the label. Shout out, you know what I'm saying, Joey Politics, you know what I'm saying? He took that, he shot the video for Smoke Did It. He took that up to Sony for us. And when Sony heard that, man, you know what I mean? They went crazy.
You was in a different bag during that time.
Yeah.
In a different, like, I heard the song and I was like, okay, his wordplay is different. He's definitely playing with words more, lyrical more. It was a different time anyway. So the sound was different. The beat was different. It was just a different era of rap. But you was right in pocket though.
Absolutely. You know, we was transcending time at that, you know, in Boston because it wasn't nobody like Boston.
So there was nobody else in the town that's making noise during this time?
Not young.
On the rap?
Nah, definitely is, you know, shout out to, you know what I mean, the people that was doing it at that time, but
Was Made
It
Men
was-
around, like, were they
Yes.
doing anything around this time?
definitely doing their thing, you know what I'm saying?
Y'all was just younger.
Yeah, we was young. We
Mm-hmm.
was young at the time, but it wasn't nobody young doing that.
Mm-hmm.
We was looking like another bad creation, a crisscross. You go back, you see the Smoke Did It video, like we was young as hell, you know what I mean? And it was nobody like us, man. It was a certain dress code in Boston, Champion hoodies, Adidas, or Timberlands. For some, you know, older cats, that's still they dress code.
Absolutely.
That's still the uniform.
That's the stamp.
You know what I mean? Exactly. Even for me, when I feel like I want to do it, you know, that's my uniform as well. But at the time, that's all we was doing. I changed that with Smoke Did It. I was wearing all the fly shit. I was going to New York, getting my shit. Back at that time, Hip Zeppy, Expression was going crazy, and we was in there every week. You know what I mean?
There's another
Major
one.
fights,
There's another
all type
one.
of
There
shit
was
going
there
down.
was another one when I was a young kid. Just seeing the commercial down. I think there was two. One in downtown, starts with an M, and I'm saying this is a drug dealer store, man. This had to be, I don't know if it was Manhattan's. Was it?
Manhattan's
Yes.
High Voltage. You know what I'm saying? Because back then,
Was
only
Manhattan
place,
was around that time?
only
Was it or
place
no?
you could get, nah, not at that point. Like it was High Voltage and all that. See, you know, only place you can get your Avarex was downtown. You know what I mean? If you had an AV back
See, I was
then.
wrong. I thought Manhattan was the only spots with the Avarex and stuff like that. Maybe that's just my era that I'm remembering, but.
Nah, you know, I used to go get my shit in Harlem. No, I'm gonna keep it real, but that's where they was at. It was Crystals down there. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, it was it was legendary at that time, man, and we just was young peas, man, young players really doing our thing. You know what I mean?
Fast forward a little bit. I don't know how far we're moving, but jumping into when I recognized who you was. I'm in college at this time. I'm studying the books because I'm a great kid.
Mm-hmm.
I'm doing the right thing, and I'm watching MTV Jams. Money on My Mind comes on.
Legendary.
You in a helicopter, looking down on the city. Let's talk about that moment.
That might have been the thing. I wasn't looking down on the city. I was trying to have people look up to the city, man, and have the city be looked at on the same level as New York, LA, Atlanta.
That's
at
dope.
the times.
That's dope.
I wanted to face a Boston, which I am and which I was back then, to be represented in the right way. And you know, in the DVD era, you had to really be playing.
Oh,
you had to have that paper.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Shout out to the behind the scenes. I said it.
Yeah.
Ghetto Report.
Ghetto Report in the building.
For the behind the scenes footage where I was able to watch that a million times and see what the fuck was really going on before we seen the whole video. I actually like the behind the scenes in the actual video because you got to see
legendary.
all the fly shit.
Yeah.
The Louis vest.
Yeah.
The Louis,
Hey,
the Louis
that
vest.
Louis
That
vest
was
is
legendary.
legendary.
Listen, when I seen that video, right, I'm like, yo, I got a lot of work to do.
Yeah.
Like, niggas ain't playing out here.
Nah,
this
not
is
at all.
happening in the city. Like, I really gotta get my paper up. Like, I'm a college kid now. You're a bad influence because now I started making poor choices after that video.
Nah.
Because I'm seeing you with the green jacket, the green leather jacket, matching the green Beamer.
Mm-hmm.
It was a lot going on. The SB chain with the crown on it.
Oh my God. Legendary.
Tell me the type
was one of the first.
Tell me the space you're in during that time where you're doing that video, and who was the creative director? Because that was a dope video with the helicopter. It seems like you shot it in 2 different places. It seemed like it was shot in Boston and in New York.
Yep.
Who came up with the concept of that video? Who was behind it? And I know that video cost you a lot of motherfucking money, man.
Hell yeah. You know, shout out to my team, because my team, I was just representing these niggas, man, because all these niggas was getting money, all these niggas had jewelry, all these niggas was doing their thing.
You wasn't
They just
ashy
put
though.
me-
You wasn't ashy though.
They just put me in the spotlight to represent, you know what I mean?
That's a good support system. That's a good team.
Absolutely.
That's a good team.
So at that time, foundation, you know what I'm saying, the life was real strong. You can see in the videos, Rock, you can see all my homies, you know, talking about being Godzilla, you know what I mean, eye to eye with Godzilla in New York, because we rented a 3-story, it was a 3-story condo in Soho. So we was like
was in
on the
Soho?
roof. Yeah, that was in Soho. You know what I mean?
Legendary.
And
Monumental
shout out,
place.
Definitely. Shout out to Dan the Man, you know what I mean? Crazy ass white boy from New York. Dan the Man was legendary back then with the videos. And I was the first artist, well, one of the first to shoot on the 5D cameras, to where we see all the cameras and the game has changed. Back then it was different. You know, if you wasn't really shooting a video, like we shot, Smoke did it on a 35mm camera. So back then on Money on My Mind, that was one of the first videos with a 5D Canon. And Dan and Man, we had a lot of great ideas that we compiled together.
The helicopter. Who idea was that?
Dan and Man was like, yo, Smoke, fuck that. We gonna fly over the Zachem. I said I'm gonna fly over the Zachem Bridge. He was like, we gonna fly over Boston in a helicopter. We gonna overlook the whole city, you know what I'm saying, show the whole beauty of the city from the helicopter, and we opening up the motherfucking door. You ready? I said, is a pig's pussy pork, nigga? Let's get it, you know what I mean? And shout out to my dog too, you know, the stylist that I work with.
He's from New York. I see him work with Diddy a lot.
Yes. That was,
what's his name?
That was the legendary Groovy Lou. But see,
he's the one who made the Louis vest. Was that custom made?
That was custom at the time. But we gonna get to that, right? But Groovy Lou is the guy that put Big in Versace. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
And Cool G.
Okay.
So Groovy Lou is real legendary. You know, you see him in the background. And like you said, when he was running around with Puff
absolutely.
at the time, but he's worked with Ross, Khaled,
he's a legend
different
in the
artists.
game, definitely.
Absolutely.
In the fashion game
so,
too.
Groovy Lou also was working on the Puma line with Nipsey Hussle to create the marathon. Absolutely.
I didn't know that.
You know, do the research, you can see Groovy Lou, you know what I mean, and Nip building together. So, shout out to Groovy. Came to Boston, flew him to Boston, and that was all premeditated murder.
Yeah.
Like, we sat down before and we came up. Me, off of that vest, that was my idea. I was inspired with that vest from Pop, you know, Tupac. I remember one of his videos when he had the vest on with the T-shirt, you know, and Pac definitely, you know, was one of the rappers that coming up that I looked up to, and I feel like he was one of the epitome of artists, you know what I'm saying? So with that vest, I put my own twist on it with the Louis, with the matching Louis aviators, with the Louis
those the checker Louis
sneakers, you know what I mean?
Yes.
And we made a movie, man. From the green jacket.
The green jacket.
And but I got to shout out, you know what I mean, my man Polo the Fur King, because the green jacket, the general jacket, the Louis vest, the white linen was all Groovy Lou. But the blue fur on the balcony with Jones, the Godzilla fur, the motherfucking red aviator with the white fox collar that I had on in the helicopter, shout out to my dog Polo the Fur King. You know what I'm saying? So
you love jacket. You love your fur.
Yeah, man. You know, that's how I got into the game myself. You know, I started creating my own pieces because dealing with them, they like mentors to me in the fashion world. You know what I mean?
Can I say this? Jim Jones being for Harlem, right?
Yup.
I'm not gonna lie to you. He was underdressed. He probably had no idea what the fuck he was walking into.
Yo.
When he seen y'all niggas and how you was carrying it, he probably never knew Boston niggas was giving it up like that. Honestly, man, that's what I think.
Jones gave me my props. If you go back and look at the DVD, you know what I mean? Jones a real nigga because Jones
is on fire at that time.
Oh,
he's going up.
Nuclear.
Yeah, so that was a good artist to work with during that time in 2009. Jim's on.
And you know, once again, you know, shout out to homie Gangster Lean. You know, Ghetto
Report. That together?
Put that together. We put that together on some street shit. You know,
shout out to you, bro. Shout out to Ghetto Report. Make sure y'all tap in, man. Absolutely. Follow his YouTube page, man.
We pulled up on Jones in New York, and we did the feature. You know what I'm saying? Then the video, the rest is history. But honestly, Jones was coming from another video shoot. He was running around that whole day. And me, I play with this clothes shit for real. You know, I do this drip, this fashion shit for real. You know,
that's what I had to ask. If you're privileged, if you always been like this.
You know, my grandma's was a hustler from New Orleans, and my grandmother, she always had the fur coats. She always was fly, you know what I mean? I call her the Black Liz Taylor. She always had diamonds, so that shit that I seen as a youngster. The fur coats, my mom's and them was going to Madison Park with Gucci and fur coats on back then, and that came off a hustle. You know what I'm saying?
Gotta respect it.
And that's in the middle of the hood though. That's in the middle of the South End. You know what I'm saying? So we in the middle of the hood with it. So being privileged, nah, I just come from a family of hustlers and go-getters.
Respect it.
You feel me? So it was different. You know what I mean? It was either you was on either side. I was on the hustler side, and me growing up back then in the South End, all the illest boosters was in the South End. Mm-hmm. From Copley Mall, Newberry
Shout out to the
Street.
boosters, man.
Man, my grandmother, Miss Rat.
We need you out here right now.
Everybody used to come and see her. You feel me? They come see her first with all the fly shit. So you know that just was a part of my lineage, and I gotta give a shout out to my cousin Squeak. You know what I mean? R.I.P. My cousin, man, that nigga was the flyest nigga in a wheelchair. Anybody knows Squeak? He took me on my first trip to New York. I got my first Avarex. I went to the Coliseum Mall, got my first jewels. I got the world spinning piece. You know what I'm saying? At the time, I got the fronts. At the, jewelry always been a part of my shit too. So I got to give credit to my cousin Squeak. He was always a fly nigga. You know what I mean? I remember when my cousin and shit, he got shot when he was 15 and shit. You know what I mean? On Warren. And I went to see him in the hospital. And I remember it was so crazy, me being a kid, I'm really not taking in how serious this shit is, because he had the top 10s in the closet with the blood on them that he got shot in. And I'm like, damn, cuz, can I get them top 10s? And he was like, take them. And I cleaned them bitches up and I wore them shits to school, not really knowing the significance behind these sneakers, you know what I'm saying? But shout out to my cousin, man. He took me to New York for the first time and really showed me like this get fly shit.
This
leather clothes
fashion and drip
you know
shit
I mean?
Always been in your blood and always been part of your lifestyle.
They go hand in hand.
And I'm not gonna lie to you, that's why I said when I looked at that shoot, I'm like, Jim Jones had to be like, oh, what the fuck? I wasn't expecting this, because he's from Harlem. He coming from fly shit.
Yeah.
You know, we're not known for that. Let's be honest. We're not known, maybe because we're a small city, we're not on the mainstream like that we get to it and we some fly niggas too. So when he seen that, I know he had to be sharp. How much you spent on that video shoot?
Man, that video, we spent over $100,000.
Get the fuck out of here. During the recession?
During the recession. If you see, man, we on there.
I spent over $100,000 on that video shoot.
It was Stimulus Bulga. You can go downtown, talk to Alfred. He's still down there. Ask him. He had 2 weeks to finish my piece. The SB piece was supposed to be a big Bruins piece, but the mold broke in the oven. At this time, this when they doing your shit, they come with the little cement looking piece to show you. When he put the piece in there, the shit broke that he was going to do it. So we had to freestyle it. That's how we came up with the SB on the crown.
That shit was still hard.
Still hard. It had the yellow, the black, and the white diamonds because it was supposed to be a Bruins piece. But we still pulled it off.
It probably worked out best though. I ain't gonna lie.
It probably did, because it's legendary.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Definitely one of the first
That's a lot of money,
youngins with the jewelry, the big time, big stupid SB, big crazy watch at the time I was doing. You know what I mean? That motherfucker was speaking Arabic, hotter on there. You know what I mean?
All right. With all that going on,
that
going on, right? You drop a video like that. You still from the town. You still from Boston. What's the energy like after you drop something like that? Is it all love, or do you feel some hate, animosity, and jealousy? Does things change after dropping a video like that? You spent $100,000 on a video. You gotta open some eyes.
I still had a 50 piece in my hand. You go back and look at the video at that time. Now, me and
honesty.
Me and my team, that's all we doing here.
Yeah,
it's
man.
Real language. So me and my team at that time, we set out to, like I said, to put Boston on the same level as LA, New York, Atlanta. You know what I mean? And we got a lot of love from that, but we also received a lot of hate. And
why do you think that? If you putting on for the city, you're making the city look good with your world premiere, mainstream on MTV, you're promoting Boston, you got the green on with the green Benz. Why do you think you're receiving hate and animosity from that? You giving us recognition, notoriety.
At the time, I'm the only one doing that, like on that level. And I feel like Boston, we come from a place where it's a lot of hustlers. It's a lot of niggas that get money. You know what I'm saying? So, me, BB King, that was at the time and still is, was my name. I had a mixtape, King of the Bean, Gangster Grillz, and I think
Gangster Grillz. Let's talk about that. I did not know that. I did not know that.
So, you know, I had a and it's crazy.
That's major.
The historic part about that, my tape was done, but when the feds raided them, they took my tape out the studio.
Oh shit! Oh,
so I had to wait for Drama and Cannon to come
Cannon,
home.
Yeah, I was about to say
and
DJ
do the tape
Cannon.
over.
Oh,
so we had to wait. You know what I mean? Till they got right and send the tape back. But when they did it, excuse me, it was legendary. Legendary. That was my tape that featured Stack Bundles.
Shout out to Stacks. Yes,
features
I
from
seen
Bobby
that you
Brown
worked with
on
Stacks.
there.
Yes.
I had features from R. Kelly on there.
Oh, you on
Kel.
fire?
Yeah, we going crazy at the time.
You on fire?
You know what I mean?
Feature with R. Kelly.
Yeah, because you know Kel's at the time. He was on Sony. He was on fire back then when I was a kid.
When
right?
was it? When was he not?
So this is what I'm telling you. We had a record together because the same guy, Dave McPherson, that signed me to Sony, signed R. Kelly to Jive Records.
I never knew you had a song with R. Kelly, bro.
Yeah.
And it's
More
sad that I
money.
don't know.
Yeah. And it's crazy too. It's hard, man. But you know what I'm saying? That was one of the songs on there. I also had a song with Bobby Brown on there.
This is all
Cold
around
World.
this time.
Yes. Yes. So, you know, I had songs with Stack Bundles on there. J.R. Ryder.
I
It
heard,
was a
I heard
legendary-
Stacks talking about CV pieces
Oh,
and
yeah.
all. You introduced him to all that?
Yeah. So, you
R.I.P.
know,
Stack Bundles, man.
R.I.P. my dog
Squad
Stack
up,
Bundles,
man.
man. That was my brother.
He was talking about Boston and Dorchester.
Yeah, because I'm gonna tell you what it is. When you a real nigga in this shit and you really live in this shit, right? And you pull up and you see somebody cut from the same cloth as you. When Stack pulled up on me, I was in
Respect.
that big GS,
Respect.
sitting on 22s. He like, damn, I got this shit on Far Rockaway, the same car,
Yes.
different color. He like, yo, I got the big Jesus diamond shit on, you know, bad bitches in the studio, you know what I mean? Cobble joints in the studio. He like, what is them? He like,
Yeah, it's different.
Fab
Niggas be
told
going
me about
crazy.
them. Oh, that's what I seen
That's
them in LA. Hold on.
That's what's
Right?
going on. That's why they love it out here.
So
that's
if
why
you
when
listen
these
to
niggas
the
lose their
verse-
mind when they come out here.
The verse is me and Stack sitting around building with each other and getting to know each other, and him learning Boston and what he already knew about Boston, but me really giving him the knowledge.
That's the proper representation.
Absolutely. And that's what I was born to do. When I tell people, you know what I'm saying, sometimes in our city, we get caught up in who got the hottest 16 and who got this. Nigga, who got the hottest car on the streets, nigga? Who really living this shit, man? Who been living this shit? Niggas need to change their representation and who they look up to. Sometimes we have a culture where we glorify crash outs. A nigga could be getting his grandmama house raided every other week, but he got 2 bodies and niggas is glorifying that. You know what I mean? We need to change it to where honor, money, legacy is what niggas, success is what need to be glorified. You know what I mean?
Now,
And that's what we represent.
now,
Growth.
I respect it, right? With all that being said, the fly cars, you got Supermotion, you Gangster Grillz, the king of Boston. Again, are you feeling that energy, that hateful energy, that animosity?
Hey, you know, it start happening. You know, hate start coming.
Do you got to move
But-
different?
We moving the same way, but at the same time,
Mindful?
I feel like that was a mistake. Because
Which part?
moving the same way.
Okay.
Right? Because we going off the love.
It's not ego driven. You just thinking that you just going off the love. It's not no ego, cockiness, like we them niggas.
Nah, my whole thing. See, we had a whole time to where we had a bad rep for putting hands on niggas and doing certain things like that. Pause, but you know, really, you know what I'm saying?
I didn't know y'all was doing that. I thought you guys was good men.
Yeah, we are good men, but you know, at once upon a time when we was younger, right? We had a reputation for that. You know what I'm saying? And it kind of followed us. But at that time, the way I was talking so filthy on these DVDs. It was getting under niggas' skins.
Yeah, you was
and
talking
you know
crazy.
Back then,
you was talking crazy.
It wasn't no internet. So you gotta sit there and watch this DVD with your bitch.
Yeah.
So if you're watching the DVD with your bitch, and she like, damn, them fast life niggas, that nigga Smoke doing his thing.
My bitch ain't watching that DVD.
Fuck these niggas.
My bitch ain't watching that DVD.
That's what I'm saying. But it was a lot of broke TVs
I'm a
back
hater.
then, man. So hey, man, at least you admit it, right?
We ain't watching that. I'm protecting her.
Another thing that come along with this, man, you know, we get a lot of love.
But don't hold on. You saying the bitch? Niggas don't want to see that.
No, they don't.
So I said, fuck the bitches. Niggas don't want to see that either.
No, I said, if you sitting back then, you watching this DVD with your girl, right? Mm-hmm. Hypothetically speaking, right? You watching this with your girl, right? And you know, she's smiling. Mm-hmm. She mentioned the nigga's name. I know him. Mm-hmm. That is gonna cause problems in our small city.
Absolutely.
Because I tell people, they say it's 6 degrees of separation. In Boston, it's only 3. I know a nigga that know you. I can get on the phone with a nigga in Boston from one phone call. That's how this shit is.
Yes, it's small.
You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
So at that time, man, the hate started to come because I felt like the King of the Beans shit was such a genius idea, and me calling myself BB King, Bulga Boston King, and at that time, nobody was doing what I was doing, besides the older guys that had preceded us. You know what I mean? But this is a different generation. For the generation that was at that time, rap-wise, I was the only one. Even in the streets, I was always driving one of the hardest cars Boston ever seen.
And I think part of the issue is this. Because you got niggas getting money, but you got a lot of niggas who's not rappers, who's just playing behind the scenes, who's getting to it and just like playing it low key. You out there, you flaunting it, you showing it, you know, and you popping that shit. You got that shit on.
Oh, I'm popping it heavy.
So you gotta understand, a lot of niggas is gonna be like, who the fuck is this nigga? And I'm not gonna lie to you, I love our city, but there's a lot of hate in our city too. So if I know where you came from and we grew up together and we're the same, or I might feel like I'm just like, I'm like, man, that nigga don't even deserve that. Fuck this nigga.
Yeah.
You know, that's where we come from. So once you make that decision to go all the way out there and have a video like that, you are gonna receive the love, but there's a lot that comes behind that shit too, and you got to be prepared for it.
In Boston, I realized, man, you know, I get that because it come with the territory.
Absolutely.
Right? It's like
absolutely
a nigga going right now to the Gaza Strip, and you know the bombs is dropping, and you acting like you don't know what the fuck is going on. You know what come along with this shit.
You better know.
And one of the things that come along with this shit, the wolves, the gorillas, the snakes, is gonna come along with that. And that's what happened at the time. You know what I'm saying? What I feel like, me being the type of person that my circle's so small, I keep to myself, right? You know, that have people guessing and wondering. And a lot of people, once they get to know me, and they meet me, they be like, yo, Smoke, he a good dude. You feel me? But at that time, we in the streets heavy, a lot of shit going on. I was to myself, you know what I'm saying? I was focused, my eyes on the prize, what we had going on, you know what I mean? And yeah, a lot of hate came from that.
A lot of cameos in that video too. We're gonna move past that video, but there was a lot of cameos. Millyz is in that video. Mass Pike's in that video. Other guys I don't know. I know Cheddar DVD, Ghetto
Rock
Report.
Ducati.
Your brother Rock Ducati. R.I.P. to him. For the people that don't know who he is or how he was, can you describe what type of brother he was to you?
Shit. My brother, well, me and my brother, we slept in the same bed till we was 10 and 12, till when we moved to Dorchester and we got our own rooms. My brother, he was my partner in rhyme and crime. He was my best friend. So, and Rock was a general. So losing Rock was the worst thing that ever happened to me. You know what I'm saying? If I look at life and everything I've been through, that really impacted, you know what I'm saying, my life. But go through that, because to be at my brother, his memorial was legendary. The MBTA, riding by, R.I.P. Rock Ducati. It was at Prince Hall. If you know how legendary Prince Hall is, you know what I'm saying, then you understand, to have your memorial there, how legendary that was. Rolls Royces, stretch everything outside, you know what I mean, for bro. But being there, I tell everybody, was like being at my own memorial.
God damn.
Because everybody that was there would have been there for me. So, you know, while always pay respect to Michael Bivens, because Michael Bivens came in the middle of Grove Hall. He came to my brother's memorial. He came to pay his respect. You know what I'm saying?
That's honorable, right?
Yeah, and to have somebody like Mike there, you know.
That shows how impactful your brother was, how influential your brother was.
He definitely
for Mike
was.
to even be there to show his respects, man.
Absolutely, you know. But Mike knew us since we was kids, and you know, my parents, they was popular for their time. You know what I'm saying? Moms and pops was, they, you know, at their time, they was known in the community. So, losing my brother, when you go through something like that, you ever lost somebody close to you?
I lost my mom's.
Yeah, so
during the pandemic.
See, I'm sorry to hear that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You get one mom's, so it's different. But my brother, type of brother, how close we was, you know what I mean?
I feel like that's different too.
It is.
The reason why I say it's different, even though losing a mom hurt me, but the relationship you had with your brother, everybody relationship the same. I mean, it's different. It's different because you could lose a brother, it might not affect you like different siblings. When you're close to your brother, when this is like your day one, y'all do everything together, it's a different type of pain. Me and my mom ain't running the streets together. You know what I'm saying? We ain't outside, and we ain't certain conversations I ain't having with Mom Dukes.
Absolutely.
So I never lost somebody who I was that close to, even though it hurt me. So I know it's a different type of pain, losing a sibling.
It definitely is, but in a situation like that, that's going to either bury you or you're going to build.
Absolutely.
And I chose to build, you know what I mean? And I knew what Rock would want me to do. So every chain I wear, every show I do, he with me. He with me here right now. You know what I'm saying? This DG shit that I represent, Ducati guards that represent Rock.
Let's give a toast to Rock, man.
Absolutely.
You know, let's give it.
You know, bro was legendary. You know what I'm saying? Definitely a general, and he was a visionary.
He sounds like an impactful player.
He was. Bro was the one who brought all the artists from Burton, Millyz, Lee Boy, anybody, Rock brought them to me. You know what I'm saying? And said, yo, you need to take some time to listen to this.
That's dope.
Yeah, and that went from each and every one of them. Rock was the type like, yo, I'll put the suit on and go in the office with this shit. You know what I'm saying? Like the rap shit cool, but I'm focused on the business and making legacy.
Yes, that's
and that's
needed.
what we focus on, man.
Can you briefly tell people who don't know, or the people who don't know about your brother, the tragic night that he lost his life? Can you briefly touch up on that? What happened?
Well, street shit, I ain't really gonna tap into details
But how did he lose his
everything. Well, you know, my brother lost his life. We was out supporting Millyz, for Millyz had like a record release party.
Yeah.
And we had just shot a video called Grand Scheme. It was like gonna be my latest single. And the crazy part about that, the song was about me losing my homies.
Damn.
Losing my best friends. And we shot that shit hours before my brother passed away.
That's crazy.
You know what I'm saying? And I don't think people understood the impact of that video at the time, because they couldn't understand that we really shot that shit that night. They thought we shot that weeks ahead of that, but it really was that night. And what I say about my brother, he was a dog until the last second. You know what I'm saying? A real nigga that stood on business. When it came to the team or anything, Rock was on that. You know what I'm saying? But he stood for something. It wasn't just like crash out. Nah.
He was the protector?
Rock was a general and a protector. You know what I'm saying? And that's who he was.
Sounds like he had a lot of heart.
He had a lot of heart. He had the heart of a lion. You know what I'm saying? 10 lions. And bro stood on business, and anybody that knew him, he left an impact on your life. You can ask Millyz, you can ask, you know, anybody that met him. Me personally, he had an impact on my life.
Can I ask you this? You lose somebody so resourceful. You lose a person who willing to play any role, you know, in your camp for you. Whether it's to put on the suit, whether it's to be on the ground,
put on the ski
boots,
mask,
put on the ski mask, do whatever it is, you know, to make this shit successful, to protect this shit. How do you move on from that? Like how did, like, you have to be one of the most resilient motherfuckers to lose somebody that close to you and still keep going, still keep grinding, and still doing what you're doing today, man. Cause I know how hard it is to lose somebody.
Yeah, like my man, you know, shout out to my dog Greg. I told you I lost my best friend on Christmas Eve and shit. You know what I'm saying? Well, I lost my best friend on Christmas Eve. He had a twin. And before my brother passed away, I remember asking his twin, having a conversation like, yo, how you deal with this shit? You know what I'm saying? How do you go on with your life like that? And he told me something that helped me out. And I feel like anybody that go through in some type of tragedy like that, it helps them along the way.
What did he say?
He said, you never get over this shit.
Facts.
You just learn to live with it.
That's a fact.
You know what I'm saying?
Super fact.
And that's what it was for me. You never get over that shit. You just gotta learn to live with it.
You didn't go through any depression,
absolutely,
any dark. You wasn't in a dark space or any dark times,
bro. Like I was going through a lot of shit at the time. Like
you wasn't almost no fuck rap shit.
Yeah. That's how it was at first. You know what I'm saying? I'm ready to crash out.
Yeah,
I'm ready.
absolutely.
It's at that point where it's like fuck everything. But then I had few good people. You know what I'm saying? Telling me at the time, my mom's, that's not what my brother would want.
Yeah.
I would have to keep this shit going. If I let this shit die right now, what was it all worth?
For nothing.
For nothing. So
for nothing.
I had to keep this shit going. I had to carry the flag. You know, even in my darkest times, I remember going through shit. I caught alopecia, like, dog, my hair fell out in the middle of my head, all type of crazy shit. I had to get shots in my head for my shit to grow back. Cortisone shots.
That's just from stress.
Yeah, just thinking so much. So
yeah.
I went through a lot personally, musically. You know what I mean? I went through a lot because.
Did you take a break during this time? Because
Nah.
your brother tragically died in 2011.
I never took time off. I just kept it going.
Man, I don't know how you're able to do that, brother.
That's what kept me going.
Yeah.
Right?
Was that part of your coping mechanism, though?
Yeah, because
music.
This shit about strength, right? You know what I mean? Because what I learned, motherfuckers love to see you down.
Yeah.
They love that. A lot of people thought it was over when my brother passed away, but I bottled up all that energy and I used it to build, right? Instead of getting buried by the pain, I built on this shit.
I respect it.
You know what I mean?
And that's hard to do.
Yeah.
It's hard to do because a lot of people who would have been in your situation, there's only two ways to really go about it, man.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's either you about to lose everything and say fuck it, or you gonna stick and focus on what you, like you said, you was meant for this shit.
Yeah.
You can't get distracted. And you said this before in the interview I watched, you can't get tricked out your spot.
Yeah.
Did you feel like this was the time for you to get tricked out your spot?
Definitely. You know what I'm saying? That was like a part of it because at the time, man, you know, we're the strongest in the city. The label moving. Rock had just shot his shit with Cam. You know what I mean?
So there was motion behind before
Yeah.
that situation happened. Rock. There was seeds being planted.
Absolutely. You know what I mean? And that happened. Definitely was a tragedy, but I learned from that. You know, because
Absolutely.
it's people around us that seeing my brother pass away, it was too much for them.
Yeah.
So, you know, you gonna be at times where you gonna realize who your real true ones.
Oh, absolutely.
Because now it don't get no realer than this. You either gonna run or you gonna stand tall. It ain't no way around this shit.
Ain't no way.
And you know, me and selected few good men, you know what I mean, decided to stand tall like City Hall.
It takes a good support system too.
Absolutely.
You gotta have some good moral support because at this time, emotionally, mentally, physically, you're going through something that a lot of niggas haven't experienced.
Yeah.
You know, and it's a lot, especially when you're the oldest, you're the protector. You had to feel pressure. How do I respond? You know, do I keep going or do I crash out? You know, it's a lot going on. And obviously, man, you know, you was able to rise to the occasion and keep shit going, and you're still here today.
Yep.
If you could say something to Rock today, you know, if you could speak to Rock today, what would you tell him, man?
We keeping this shit lit. You know what I mean? It's DG now, still life for life. But the flag still high in the air, and we about to plant this bitch right on top of the mountain like we set off from the beginning.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
We talked about Nip earlier. The marathon continues,
Yep.
and that's one thing about life. We all go through certain situations, but this shit keep on going, man.
Definitely.
You know, life keeps on going. This shit waits for nobody, no matter what we're going through. You know, you gotta be mentally.
Life gonna keep on life.
It's gonna keep life in, bro.
Hey.
So obviously, you go through that. Life is still moving for you.
Mm-hmm.
Now, how are you really adapting to everything with the music? You say you keep making music. Is that something you're still passionate about at that time, or you just doing it for therapy?
I was still passionate because you gotta understand, I've been doing this music shit. I was doing this music shit. Music was like, the rap shit was like my first girlfriend. before I got some pussy, I was rapping. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So
You getting you rapping while you getting pussy.
Yeah, that's what I mean. So I'm 11, 12 years old, my nigga, rapping. You know what I mean? I ain't even touched no pussy yet.
Yeah,
So for me, you know, it always been there. My brother was like my first A&R. You know what I mean? He was there when I wrote my first rap.
Yeah.
So for me I'll never tap out. You know what I mean?
Gotta be resilient.
Yeah.
You gotta be resilient.
Like, I understand the mission and what we set out to do. So for me at that point, to give up, man, that shit ain't even in me. I'm built differently. I'm planted by the water. My brother, he would have did the same thing. I know Rock would have carried this shit. You know what I'm saying? So I gotta do the same thing.
Let's talk about relationships, right?
Yeah.
That you have created, and you said Rock introduced you to certain people, E. Burton, stuff like that.
Yeah.
Millyz. How did you? So Rock played a role in Millyz, or was it just E. Burton?
Yes, definitely.
So how did that work with you and Millyz? Because Millyz is always shouting you out. He's always giving you flowers.
That's my bro.
And shout out to Millyz too.
Shout out to my bro. You know what I'm saying? Millyz, definitely. I met Millyz from my brother. My brother was telling me about Millyz, and he was like, yo, I got a record at the time. You know what I'm saying? He wants you to feature on. So I didn't hear Millyz at the time before Rock, but it was a mutual guy from the streets that Millyz was friends with, that was from around our way in Dorchester, that we was friends with. It was like a mutual friend that connected the dots. He spoke to Rock first, and Rock would tell me about this record that Millyz had. When I heard the record, I was like, yeah, that shit dope. You know what I mean? Hopped on the record, me and Rock. Started off from there. Musically, we did music together, but we built a camaraderie. You know what I'm saying? Millyz used to be at my crib with my kids. I don't let people in my crib like that. I don't trust too many motherfuckers.
Hey, I know. So, you told me how you scored and how you been.
Man. So, you know, bro used to be there. He was there since the beginning, and me and Rock seen a vision in Millyz before anybody. Once I saw it, he was already on fire. We just added gasoline to it. We just threw a little bit of gasoline on it in the city to what he was already doing.
You already knew Millyz would be where he's at today. You seen that?
We definitely seen it. Me and Rock seen that early. And shout out to bro, because he went and bossed the fuck up. You know what I'm saying? He did what he was supposed to do. And now you see what he's doing. It's legendary.
Shout out to him. That's how we connected. I seen you at the on backstage at the Millyz concert.
Millyz and friends. That was that legendary.
It was able to vibe, and we're like, yo, we got to do this, and we're here today.
Yep.
E. Burton. E. Burton for certain. An incredible artist from the city, man. Very talented young man. Rap his ass off. He's probably one of the best rappers to come out the city, from the city. Share how y'all met and how y'all got started musically. That was also Rock too?
Yeah, but
Rock's like an A&R.
Absolutely. More like a visionary, right? So, me and Burton's my family.
He said y'all cousins.
Yeah, we cousins by my family member adopted him when his mom's passed away.
Okay.
Burton, I put him in position. When at a time when I would say, for me, nobody believed in him enough to put their money behind him. And to me, if somebody believe in you, they're gonna put the house up, they're gonna spend their last dollar to push you. So at the time, I took my own bread and invested into Burton and his first project, Chronicles of a Foster Child.
Dope project. Definitely. One of his best
His
projects.
top, his still his top project to today. I actually curated the project myself from a bunch of different songs. I picked out the best ones and put them in chronological order from top to bottom. Also designed the cover with Prof Bundy. Shout out to Prof Bundy. And you know, like I said, once again, I look at that as taking food out my kids' mouths in my belief for someone that I felt that was talented. Definitely talented brother. Can't take that away from him. But when I see him talking crazy about me, it's just like, wow.
Where did y'all go wrong though? Where did that relationship, from what you can talk about, where did that relationship go sour? Because he was screaming DG, you know, it was Millyz, it was E. Burton, it was you, it was the family, it was R.I.P. Ducati, you know, Rock. Like, where did that go sour? Cause I ain't gonna lie, that's a power team right there.
Absolutely, that's a dream team.
Yeah, absolutely.
Now, with me and him, I just felt like it was just different elements, people in his ear, different things going on, dynamics and his own personal things I'm not really gonna get into. It's not my business to, but a lot of trust was broken. Not on my side, because I did everything that I could do. You know what I mean? As far as helping him to build his career and to put him in position.
He's definitely paid homage. I had him on a pod, you know, years ago, and he definitely played homage to you playing an integral part in his rap career, for sure. Do you think our relationship could ever be repaired?
I mean, we still, it's time.
We be like, family.
We be in the DM and be like, yeah, fuck nigga, you look good today. Yeah, I see that picture, you doing your thing. Yeah, fuck nigga, keep it moving.
It's a love-hate thing?
Yeah, it's just a love-hate because I knew him. He's my family. So even with the things going on, when he feel like he want to diss artists, I tell him, man, you can ask him, bro, that's not the way to go. You know what I'm saying? I look at Burton as he battling his own demons. You know what I'm saying? And when somebody battling their own demons, sometimes, you know what I'm saying, you just gotta get out the way. You know? And at the end of the day, ain't no beef between me and him. You know what I'm saying? He was a person that was under the umbrella at the time that I put in position to be able to do what he's doing now. But from my personal opinion, me being in this game right now, a lot of people, when you had the talent of Burton, it's more about relationships. It's not really about, like in Boston, in Boston,
you're a busy guy. This is like, come on, bro.
In Boston,
you got a lot going on.
My shit going crazy. My shit doing a Julio right now. But in Boston, sometimes we get caught up in who's the best rapper, who got the hardest 16 once again, and this shit deeper than that. We dealing with metrics now. The game that we in, this shit about numbers. And the number ain't 16. Yeah. And it's about relationships.
Yes.
And that's getting back to this. Sometimes when you burn so many bridges, you'll find yourself on an island by yourself, man.
Yeah.
You know,
it's tough to bounce back from that.
Absolutely. And when, you know, you got to be careful on what bridges you burn. You know what I'm saying?
Listen, that's a bar, because I was telling my man was having a conversation, me and my dog, and I'm like, you got to be careful of what bridges you burn. Not saying you can't burn certain bridges, but be mindful of what bridges you burn, because there's certain bridges that you shouldn't burn. And it's gonna be hard for you to repair and rebuild those bridges after you done burn them. Nobody wants to deal with you. Nobody wants to fuck with you, you know? So it's hard to come back from that. So you gotta be mindful and careful. Relationships are very important.
Absolutely.
I wanna dive into another relationship that I seen you blossom with, and and make beautiful music with is Mass Pipe. How did that relationship get started? Y'all from the same area or?
Me and Mass Pipe, we was introduced by, again, mutual friends. Marky, his man, like that's like his best friend, was friends with my cousin Squeak in a wheelchair. They from the same area in Roxbury.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? So my cousin, used to go back and forth and say, hey man, none of your rappers can't fuck with my cousin. I'm telling you. Now one time I came around, I met Marky. We built a relationship. Me and him started working together. I started working with the Russia guys, you know what I mean? And Miles was a part of them. Me and Miles end up building together a separate relationship to where, we had some of the same goals and mentality as far as winning. So a lot of my production early on, Smoke Did It, different records like that, was produced by Mass Pipe.
It seems like you guys have a real good relationship. You guys are still like in contact today.
We don't have a relationship at the moment.
Oh, y'all don't?
No.
Damn, that's unfortunate. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I really didn't know that, man.
We don't have a relationship at the moment, and it is unfortunate.
Is it something that could be repaired, or is it something that you guys grew apart type?
I think along the way, you know what I'm saying, it was definitely elements of us growing apart.
Cause I would like music. I'll see you, even though we wouldn't, speak. I'll be in the background. I'll see you. I'll see Pipe. I'll see Mass with you.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying. Ultimately, like I said, we came up together. We did great things. We represented Boston at a time when it wasn't cool to represent Boston, and we made history together.
Absolutely. Y'all sure did.
But when you grow, and I'm sure you seen Paid in Full, Rich should have never sold them bricks to Poe.
Absolutely not.
And
he knew that. He felt that.
Okay, so I'll just leave it at that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And when you grow up, and as you get older, sometimes relationships outgrow each other.
I believe that.
And it's all I'ma always get a brother his flowers.
Absolutely, he's definitely one of the ones.
Yeah, but just some recent events, some hate that I wouldn't expect.
Damn, that's tough. That's tough. That brings me to my next question, right? And shout out to Mass Pipe, Miles, man. That's unfortunate. I'm hearing that because relationships are very, very important. And
Absolutely.
And I'm seeing the industry now. A lot of relationships are getting ruined, and I feel like the industry now is impacting the streets as far as having too much influence on the streets, where we don't know what's a rat anymore. There's so much different layers and shit like that with the industry. Would you ever do a song with a person that you feel that ain't right from the industry? Fuck what everybody's saying, how you feel about the situation. Do you see yourself working with an artist who you feel is not right to you?
No, because I personally been on trial. I had somebody telling on me. I know what that feels like. So
even if this artist can take your career and you hitting different algorithms and you're getting 2 million views, that doesn't change anything.
I get that part of it, but for me, it's about morals, right? All money's not good money. You know what I'm saying? Same thing goes with working with certain people.
What
Me,
about it's business though, right? It's not the streets. It's business.
it's definitely business, but that's even in business, right? Once again, all money's not good money. I'm not, if I know somebody told me, oh, he's hot, you know, I heard he told before, but he offering me this, to do this, I'm not fucking with him because all money is not good money. Now you put yourself in a situation that you go in business with this guy that you already heard this about. So for me, I just stay away from it.
That's real. That's integrity. A lot of people don't care about that.
Hmm.
It seems like
I'm cut
it
from a
doesn't even
different
matter.
cloth, bro. You know what I mean? Personally, my life, I've been had. That's why, for me, sometimes you can get complacent because I live the life these rap niggas is trying to get a check to live. They trying to get a check from the building to live. I'm already living that life and I've been living that life. So I don't need to chase that shit. I don't need to chase trends. I'm chasing legacy, right? I'm chasing growth.
I respect it.
And at the end of the day, for me, it just ain't worth it.
Again, talking about industry relationships and how important they are. I'm not gonna say any names, but there's a certain individual who's losing a lot of relationships in the game because of certain stuff coming out. Just to ask you a question, not to single anyone out, but I know you had your situation with Mass Pike, and you know that's another business relationship that you had, and probably a friendship that you had that you know went sour. But if you heard, you know, someone talking about you or being a chatty patty about you on jail calls and shit like that, would that affect your relationship?
It depends on what the conversation is.
That's real. I think that matters.
Yeah, it definitely depends on the dynamics of the conversation.
You know what I believe? A lot of us don't want to be a fly on the wall for a lot of conversations that's being had behind our back.
Yeah, I mean, and you know, on the contrary, you don't think jail calls is gonna get back.
Absolutely. These are private conversations. Any private conversations we don't expect to get back.
I'm pretty sure, you know, like you said, if you could be a fly on the wall,
we wouldn't have no friends.
Yeah, like, you know what I'm saying? So,
they would be nasty. Our own brother, our mother, our sister, our loved ones, your BM. You don't want to hear what your BM got to say about you, nigga, when you're not around.
Yeah,
don't think it's all lovey-dovey.
You want to take pride in not, you know what I'm saying something that you can't say to a motherfucker face, though. You know, backdoor talking crazy, and you can't say this to that person, you know, that's something that, man, I stand on. If you able to say something, be able to say this to a man's face. You know what I mean? And that's how I carry it. So,
but I think a lot of things could be misconstrued. I think a lot of private conversations, like let's say for example, me and you went out, right? And for some reason, remember, I'm hypothetically speaking, Smoke. Let's say some reason you ain't got no money on you. You know what I'm saying? And you're like, yeah, this will never happen. But I'm just saying, let's say I had to carry us for the night and, you know, swipe the card. And I'm like, yo, what's up? And I'm talking to one of the homies, mutual homie. And I'm like, yo, what's up with Smoke? Like, he's been moving around kind of funny. And, you know, he didn't, you know, it's been a few nights, just not that one night. I'm like, what's up with him? Now, if you heard a conversation like that, I'm not saying anything derogatory. I'm not saying nothing disrespectful, but this conversation is being had behind your back. And you heard I had this conversation behind your back, or you heard the conversation. Is that something that would ruin our friendship? Do you feel like I'm backdooring? Or I'm probably just venting to a friend?
It depends on what we talking about, how you talk, how you relay in the message.
I agree.
That goes with anything, right?
I agree.
It's how you relay in the message. And certain things, if we friends, you my man, we ain't supposed to speak about, right? So if you speaking about this, then chances are you speaking about that, you speaking about this,
That's
you speaking
true.
about this situation.
That's true.
You know what I mean? And
That's
that's
true.
when it becomes tricky.
That's true.
And you have to realize that, one, it take two motherfuckers to talk, right? Then on top of that, the shit that you saying definitely was some other shit that went along with that.
Absolutely.
It don't stop there. You know what I mean?
And I think once it's out there, it's out there. There's nothing you could do. It's out of your control.
Yeah.
Once anytime I can hear somebody talking about me, no matter what they say, I'm allowed to feel a way about it. It's not up to you to tell me what to feel a way about. I'm allowed to, you're talking about me.
Exactly.
And I can be sensitive as much as I want. I cannot fuck with you if I want. I don't care what you say. This conversation is being had without me being present.
And that's how I feel about that shit. You know, like, don't do no shit that you ain't gonna do. You know, if you're not gonna do in my face, or you're not gonna be man enough to say to me.
I respect
That's
that.
my thing. You know what I'm saying? If we got a problem as men, we get into an argument, we have disagreements, but we hash it out as men in the end, that's cool. But if you online or talking to a bitch or telling somebody else some shit,
It's
man,
bad. It's all bad.
you an outpour ass nigga. I can't trust you.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And like I said, Rich should have never sold those bricks to Poe, man.
Yeah.
And that's how I'm carrying this shit, you know? And
It's
one thing I realized in this life, man, you just never could be surprised when this shit happens.
It
You know what I'm
seems
saying?
like you went through a lot, like disappointments, because you always talk about keep your circle small.
Mhm.
Is that why you keep your circle small? For the backdoor shit, for the hating shit, or the back
Absolutely.
talking?
But you know, I learned, like I said, I learned that early in the game from my parents. Like, my
Does it even
parents-
hurt you if you do hear some shit, like, or you not even surprised?
I done
anymore?
heard everything at this point. Don't shit shock me or nothing. I got the skin of a rhinoceros, dog. You know what I mean? Like, I don't really, that shit don't affect me because I know who I am. I know what my life is. I know, you know what I mean, what I'm doing. And if you sit there and worry about what motherfuckers say, you ain't gonna make it in this game, because somebody always gonna have something to say. And the haters never realized they my biggest promotional team. Bulga, I haven't released a project since my brother died. I only been releasing singles. I never released a whole project. But the hate and the way, you know what I mean, they speak on my name, that's the biggest promotion ever. My name always stays at the top, whether it's good or it's bad. But most of the time, the bad is bullshit. It's fake. It's motherfuckers making shit up, you know? Like, the situation, like you say, the haters talking about where I'm from.
Yeah.
Is he
I heard
Boston?
you from
That's-
Ipswich.
No. We gonna put this on the record right now, right? They be trying to say I'm from Malden and shit like that, right? And
I had to put sizzle on.
I'm gonna keep it real. You know, it's real niggas from Malden, right? It's real gangsters from Malden, right? Motherfuckers don't know. It's some real gangsters from Boston that went to Malden and died. You know what I'm saying?
Where'd that come about, though?
That's what we gonna get into. When I was in high school, my freshman year, I went to Cathedral. You know what I'm saying? I got too many demerits. I was on the verge of getting kicked out of school. My pops was like, fuck that. You ain't going back there. I'm not. You know what I'm saying? You not going there. Because anybody that, I don't know now, but back then, Cathedral, that shit was like Madison or something. But it was just like a private school.
I went to North Cambridge. So it
So
was
you
like
know.
a hood Catholic school.
Exactly. So that's how all my schools, I went to St. Patrick's in Roxbury on Mount Pleasant. You know what I'm saying? That's where I graduated 8th grade from. So all the schools that I went to like that was in the hood. But my aunt had moved to Malden from the South End, right? My aunt, she bought a house in Malden at the time, and my pops was like, nigga, you going to Malden High. So I went to school and I graduated from Malden High.
That's
from
where
my
that comes from. Okay.
Yeah, so my sophomore to my senior year, I graduated from Malden High. But I was catching the train every day.
From the hood to go to
From
Malden.
the hood. I would get on the 15, catch the 15 all the way to Ruggles, get on the orange line from Ruggles all the way to Malden Center.
I get
You know
it
what I mean?
because I went to North Cambridge Catholic. I got kicked out of North Cambridge
My
Catholic.
man, one of my mans here, he went to NCC
Yeah,
too.
I went to NCC. I was playing ball there, but before NCC, I was at Madison. My dad's like, "Yo, we not letting you go to Madison." I went to NCC.
That's the school they wanted me to go to.
Yeah, they was like, "Nah, we're not
That's
doing
what
that."
happened.
I went to NCC, got kicked out my first year at NCC. I ended up going to St. Clements in Medford, where I was playing ball. I was still from the hood every day, getting up early to hop on that orange line, the red line, the crossover, so I get it. How do niggas even find that info about you graduating from Malden and try to take that away from you, like you not from the town?
What happened was, at the time, I had a rap battle with the nigga Frankie Wainwright.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And the nigga he was signed to went to school with me in Malden. That's how they got
That was
the
thing.
information.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it was like, it was nothing else that they could play off and say. So it was try to make it like, oh yeah, you went to school, you from Malden, shit like that. But nobody can never say that. I went to school in Malden.
It's because you went to school there, it doesn't mean anything.
Yeah.
And
that when I graduated from Malden, and one thing, I appreciate that journey. That shit taught me a lot.
Of course.
Right?
Of course.
Because before I went to Malden High, my whole neighborhood was black.
Absolutely.
And I never
It's a different environment.
Yeah, I never was able to, you know what I'm saying? I never was in a classroom with a white kid.
Yeah.
I had
you
white teachers, but
diversify.
Absolutely.
You go in different rooms now, you're more comfortable. You're able, trust me, it's
definitely.
like it's a different experience, man. We all need it. Sometimes we get comfortable. You got to get comfortable being uncomfortable. You got to get out your comfort zone, and that's only going to help you, man.
And I had both sides. You know what I mean? So being able to go out there for the last 3 years of my whole school history, you know what I'm saying, was cool for me. You know what I mean? I graduated, and I ended up catching the case that summer that I, you know what I mean, got found out guilty, but it was definitely a different experience for me.
I'm happy you spoke on that and you let us know where that came from.
Mm-hmm.
Speak more about relationships, right? Industry relationships and stuff like that. Shout out to my man Primo. I see you fucking with Primo heavy. Despite everything that he goes through online, you still fuck with him and you still show up for him. Why is that?
Primo a good dude, you know what I'm saying? My dog Arlis Michaels, me and Arlis been friends now for over 12 years, right? That's his manager. So me and Arlis already had a relationship for a long time now. Me and Primo, they asked me to get on the record back in March, and the verse that I did on Primo's song has opened up a lot of doors for me in New York City. You know what I'm saying?
I wouldn't think that's dope.
Yeah, that verse has allowed me to be able to be on multiple platforms, garner a whole new fan base in New York City.
He definitely got a buzz.
Yeah.
Primo definitely got a wave.
So, I already...
Because I seen artists, get away from him after he took a few L's. you know, and I seen you stay 10 toes down and still rock with him despite, you know, the internet bullshit and the hate and all that. Shout out to Primo too. That's my guy.
Yeah, because for me, you know, we don't abandon ship on our homies. You know what I mean?
That's real character. That's why I'm asking you that.
Like the realest niggas done been through shit, man. You know, niggas get robbed, niggas get beat up, niggas get shit happens, and I'm not even talking about Primo saying
in general,
what happened.
yeah.
I'm just saying in general, that's a part of being in the hood. But what I respect about Preem is he right back outside. He ain't in the house looking in the mirror,
tucking his tail,
you know, crying. He right back
Yeah.
on the scene. So you gotta respect that. And one thing, like I said, that record, you know, opened a lot of doors. My dog, Allis Michael, put a lot of situations. Shout out to Golf. Shout out to Allis Michaels. You know, we got a lot of big business going on right now. And that verse opened up a lot of doors for me. You know what I mean? And I'm grateful for that. And any brothers that I collab with or I become friends with might go through some shit. But it's about how you came out of this situation.
I respect it. That's honorable.
We not.
Yeah, that's honorable.
You know what I mean? That's my dog. So
I respect it. Shout out to Primo. Keep doing your
Shout out to
thing,
my
man.
dog,
Stay focused.
definitely.
Another relationship that we're gonna talk about. You a member, MMG. You know,
Yes.
are you still signed to MMG?
Yes.
Are you still with? You
Yes.
still have that relationship.
Yes.
And I know that relationship been brewing for a while because he always been around and you've been around them. Like, so I'm not surprised about the signing because I know there was history there. There was a relationship there. Tell me how's that experience from you, and tell me what you've learned from just being around, you know, Rose, the boss.
Man, you know, first off, this MMG shit, it ain't even about signing on no label. This shit like the mob. It's like you join the mafia. You gotta prick your finger for this shit. You know what I'm saying?
Blood on a contract.
And you know what I mean? And, you know, just being able to soak up so much game around Rose is something that, you know what I'm saying, is priceless. Ross recognized in me what the city already knew a long time ago, that I was a boss on my own. And that's what created the relationship, from what the work that he saw what I was putting in on my own. So, you know, bosses connect with bosses. And it's up to me now to take this shit worldwide.
If you can name one of the things that you learned from, you know, Rick Ross, you know, the boss, Rose, what would that be that you can share with us?
Told me keep my circle small.
That I feel like that's been a topic of discussion.
Hey,
You already been doing that, it seems like.
I was, but that
It got
was one of
smaller
the
after
things.
that.
Yeah, Ross.
A couple of niggas had to go, a couple of bitches had to go.
Absolutely. That was one thing he told me. Keep your circle small, Bulga. Definitely.
So he doesn't keep a lot of niggas around him, or probably not as much as he used to when he came in the game.
No, it's just a lot of day ones around. You know what I'm saying? If you around Ross, it's 15, 20 years. It's really not a lot of new faces. You know what I'm saying?
That's dope. And how did that all come about? Like that membership and, you know, you being able to be with MMG today. How did that come about? Because I know every time Ross came into the town, you was always around.
Yeah.
Before draft day, before we know you signed, you know, you was always had that relationship. Was that relationship based off music, or was just a genuine relationship?
It was a genuine relationship. I had been around Ross and the whole Maybach family for almost 10 years before it was any type of business done. And Ross was able to see me and my team move around and be bosses on our own first, standing on business, holding our own shit down. And over the years, one day, one snowy day in December, You know what I mean? Around my birthday, he happened to be in the town on business. And he said, yo, you ready? I went to go meet him at the hotel, showed him everything I was doing at the time, and the rest is history.
The song Water Whipping, did you have that prior to Ross already?
Yeah, you know.
Because that was a match made in heaven as far as Ross being on that record. That's a Ross record right there. That beat, that sound, that production, it was a perfect match for him to be on there.
That's why, you know, I always say, man, if you want something, you can't just never give up. You can't tap out. That feature was years in on the making. Like, it been plenty of times I wanted a feature with Ross, but it was like I had to work my way and earn my keep to get to that point. And when it was time, he blessed me with that feature. It wasn't no paper involved in nothing.
That's dope.
He just said, yo, I heard you got a song, you know what I'm saying? Like, he wanted me to get on. He said, you gonna have a gift for your email in 48 hours.
And when he heard it?
48 hours later, I had that joint. You know what I mean? He was fucking with the record, and it was a blessing, man, you know what I mean, for him to hop on that joint. But definitely, we had to show Ross the work that we put in, the work ethic, the grind, you know what I mean? You gotta earn it. Ain't none of that shit was just given to us.
Yeah.
We earn this shit. This
Absolutely.
shit hard earned. You know what I mean?
And that was another iconic video. You known for your iconic videos. I don't know if you ever gonna pick that video over the Money on My Mind video, but it's up there. It's up there. It's different. It's different points in your life. It's different success levels in your life.
Definitely. They both my babies. Money on My Mind.
I'll pick Money on My Mind just for me.
I was more hands-on with that. Me and my team. Water Whipping was really like, Ross, yo, be in Miami tomorrow.
Yeah.
Yo, pull up at this address. I'll pull up to the address, the lime green McLaren Aventador out there in the big mansion, the crazy joint. Next joint, all right, we done with that. Pull up over here, Bulga. Meet me over here. Next address I pulled up was Prime 112. Rose rented out the whole balcony room. Fire. If anybody ever been to Prime 112,
I've been there.
You know what that balcony is.
South Beach.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So the whole balcony shit, the room, it's like a room, a private room.
I never been to that area.
Yeah,
I'm a little nigga. I haven't made that.
I
haven't made it there yet.
Room, right?
Podcast haven't brought me there yet. I was in the front.
Rose had all the lobsters, you know what I mean, the prime rib, the steaks, the filet mignon, all on this table with the Bel Air, everything laid out. We go out on the balcony. This shit, you can't make it up.
Movie.
You know?
Cameo was crazy.
Now, that's what I'm telling you. The stars have to align. They have to connect for shit like this to happen. We out on the deck. We shooting a video. Fat Joe and Nori, they walking in. So it's just like a mafia film.
And they didn't care about being in the video.
Nah, you know.
It's a movie.
The boss, we shooting a video, Rose, you know what I mean? So you already know.
That's dope.
It was just a beautiful situation. I couldn't ask for God. Only the creator of all things could have made that happen the way it happened.
And that's what we talk
about.
about.
Because the pandemic hit literally the next week.
Damn.
Yeah.
I didn't even know that. I thought it was happening like during the pandemic.
Nah, the pandemic hit
So this
right
is
after.
early 2020 or late 2019?
The pandemic started, and then it was like we shot the video. I'm sorry, timeline low. We shot the video. Pandemic was starting. Draft day was when the pandemic really hit. You know what I'm saying? And it was crazy because that was at the beginning of my deal.
Yeah.
So learning to work through the pandemic where the situation was like that was challenging, but we got through it.
Made it
You know what
work.
I'm saying?
Made it work.
Yup.
And that's another thing. We talked about it early. Just putting that faith in the universe, man. You gotta envision it, and it's all about timing. Maybe back then wasn't your time, and I know you wanted to work with Ross early on,
Yup.
but maybe you didn't have the right record. Now you do. Maybe the video would have never been the same. You don't get that type of video maybe back then, but
Yup.
you get it now. So sometimes you got to be patient. It's a marathon, and you just got to wait on your moment, and you got to just believe in whatever you got going on, that this shit's gonna happen.
Yeah. That's my life. My life is like the Boston Marathon. You know, I done hit Heartbreak Hill 100 times, but you know, my heart, my drive is what got me over the hill every time.
I respect it.
You know, and
I respect it.
like you said, we all think that our time is our time at a certain, you know what I mean, moment, but it's not always your time. Like you said, you gotta be patient. You gotta stay resilient. You gotta stay in the game. You know, cause you can give up at any time. You can tap out. But at this point in my career, you know, I'm rapping, but I'm rapping to take me to other places, right? Once the rap, I want to move into Hollywood. I want to move into fashion. It's different things that I want to do. So the rapping is nothing but a vessel to get
Understood.
me to the other ventures that, you know what I mean, we ready to take on.
All right, a few more questions before we get out of here,
Yeah.
right? Me and you had a misunderstanding in the past, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I was out of pocket, and I apologized to you early on before we started. You know, I'm a man, and you know what I said, I don't think was the right thing to say. But my frustration with you was, and we spoke about this, you know, off camera today for the first time. I told you my frustration with you was, to me, you already planted your flag. You already won a chip in the city already. And you already, like, you got your spot. You one of the ball players. You one of them legends. You already in the Raptors. For me, that's how I feel. And there's a lot of young niggas in the game that's coming up right now. And when I'm still hearing your name with rapping, and I might sound like a hater for saying this, I'm just like, nah, I don't want to talk about Smoke. I see Smoke as more as a big homie, influencer, you know, a person who should be an executive, because you have so much knowledge, you went through so much experience, and there's so much you can teach these young niggas today about the music industry, about the business, you know, and you could be more impactful in that. And it got taken the wrong way, but that's where my frustrations was with you. And that's from what I seen, you know, the perception. I never seen you really walk in the room with niggas. Not saying you never did, you can correct me if I'm wrong, but that was my, you know, misunderstanding.
Respectfully, that's a wrong perspective of how to look at it. Because the great artists that you name that came from under the umbrella, right?
Yeah.
That I've worked with.
Millyz, E. Burton.
Yeah, the list goes on. Those are great artists from Boston, you know, that I've played my part. You know what I'm saying? On what
Definitely
I
have
could do.
fingerprints on those.
So, you know, I feel like that's a wrong perspective to have, even with a song like In the Beam, where it was some of these blocks didn't get along, some of these projects didn't get along, but that song was to push Boston further. You know, for my whole career, it's hard sometimes where we come from because of the politics, the street politics.
Understood.
We all get caught up in that sometimes because the gang shit come before the music. Let's keep it real.
Especially from Boston and
Especially
the city.
from
Yeah,
Boston.
absolutely.
In my own personal experience, I feel like me being one of the stars, Boston needs more than one star. We need the Big Dipper. All of us shining together, that's how we gonna shine the most. And I've definitely tried to play my part, but when you've been through a lot, when you've helped artists, and sometimes you get the shit into the stick, man, it's like, how can you continue to want to help people when you help people and it's not received? The help is, you know, motherfuckers get to a certain point and it's like cruel intentions. When you only have great intentions for somebody, you know what I mean? Because me, a lot of time, we going off of what's going on at the time. I have nothing to gain. I just really see the potential there. So I felt it was my job to ignite a flame if I see it there. But if you've been through so many things and so many times where you try to help people and you end up on the losing side of that, you know, you got to be cautious about who you help.
I understand that. I understand that perspective. My only argument to that is we can't allow, you know, a few bad experiences to stop us from doing what we supposed to be doing, especially a person in your position. When I see a little nigga like Wild Jizzle, man, and I see that he's so talented, I'm like, damn, I want you to walk him in certain rooms. I want him to be right next to you and shit like that. And I get the politics and shit like that. Maybe it's happening behind the scenes where the cameras ain't catching it, because the cameras don't have to see. Nobody needs to know what's going on. But I just feel like you have that leverage. And honestly, a person who's been through everything you've been through, maybe I'm wrong for putting that responsibility on you, and maybe you feel like that's not your responsibility, but I just see you in that light.
Now, as far as it being responsibility, you know what I mean? Shout out to Wild Jizzle, you know what I mean? Because
Free Wild Jizzle.
Free Wild Jizzle, you know, that's my blood. Like,
I didn't even know that.
Yeah.
I didn't even know that was your blood.
So me and Wild Jizzle, we done had conversations before, and we done built, you know, shout out to Meech, his moms, you know. We done had conversations before. We done built, and before he got arrested, there's certain things that we was trying to do and that we were gonna do. See, me, I'm not.
You're not promoting it.
Yeah, I don't need to put it out there because once again, you know what I'm saying?
That's my ignorance. That's yeah.
So, and like I said, songs like In the Bean tell a different tale when it come to me and my support. I've done mixtapes before where it had plenty of different artists from Boston.
No, I see, especially with the home team. I see
where we come from, you know what I mean? You build with your team.
Absolutely.
And at the time, I was focused on the artists that was on my level.
No, absolutely. I'll give you that. I see you work with your team players.
Even now, it's artists, you know what I mean, in Boston, if it makes sense, and you reach out to me, you got your own motion, you got shit going on, we get it done.
You worked with my guy, Junior Mass. Yep. You know, that's my brother.
There
Love you,
go.
brother.
Shout out to
Free
Junior
you.
Mass. Free Junior Mass.
Y'all had a nice joint together. Y'all shot in Miami. That was a beautiful record. I love that record, man. And you are willing to work with other artists. And I see how you work with your guys. You know, North Side. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to you too.
Shout out to Slee.
Yeah, Slee. I see you working with him, and you got so much records with him. So, you know, sometimes, you know, me not seeing and not knowing is just my ignorance. But, you know,
it is your ignorance. And then on another thing, right? Me personally, you know, I'm a firm believer in, you know, you got to go organically. If it makes sense, then we work together. I'm not going to force it. And another thing is, you told me off record with your own personal shit you went through.
Absolutely.
Doing certain interviews with people, you got to answer to that in jail. So it's shit that come along with these Boston politics.
Yeah, I want you to be the guy. I don't want to go through it. I want you to be
you don't want me. Don't pass that shit off to me.
You can handle it. You can
that's
handle
what
it.
you
You've
want.
been in the game for a while.
This what I'm trying
this
to
is
tell
all
you.
new to me.
Me personally, I love working with. My legacy is built off of my Boston songs and doing songs with other artists. That's my, I love that more than working with the industry artists. I love that more because I feel like that's legacy. And that's why I've been a part of the majority of the biggest Boston anthems that ever came out. I was a part of, you know what I'm saying? And that adds on to, once again, where I don't believe that's true. Now, could we have worked with other artists? Maybe. But the politics, the street shit, get in front of that sometimes.
Absolutely.
You know
I
what I'm
agree.
saying?
I agree.
So that's what it is, man. But I want to work with everybody, Reach out. It makes sense. We're going to make it happen.
Give them your Instagram. Let everybody know, man. So, because I'm just saying this out of respect of who you are. Sometimes we in a position where we don't know our influence and how significant we are. So, as I'm telling you this,
I understand my power, right? But longevity come along with being smart, bro, and moving a certain way.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? When you moving in the water with sharks,
you gotta be mindful. You gotta watch out.
Yeah, you better make sure you moving right.
Yeah, absolutely.
Or you gonna get motherfucking, you know what I'm saying? That's gonna be it.
Yeah.
But we sharks moving in the water with sharks, but we understand the power of another shark, right? Now, shout out to the whole city because we need to change that. But it's a lot of things that need to change first. Things that we spoke about before. We gotta change what we glorify in the hood. You know what I'm saying? And bold your hair. I'm gonna keep on adding on the legacy because at the time I was putting on for the city, it wasn't cool. And the history that I made,
I don't think the city was ready for that. I don't think the city was ready for that. Now, like if it happened today, it would be received differently. It would be received differently.
Definitely, but
it's just a different era.
Everything we do is always gonna be legendary. Like you said, Money on My Mind, Water Whipping. That's like every few years, so we got some shit coming. So be on the lookout. My next single is actually featuring Bro. The Note featuring Millyz. That shit gonna be major for the city.
I can't wait for that. Before I wrap this up, man, it was nice having this conversation with you. I appreciate you being on the show. I want to give you your flowers for everything you've done for the city, for putting on, for making us look good,
appreciate
for still being here today, man, running this marathon. Because I told you before, I had to adapt to being a marathon runner because I'm a sprinter. I'm used to getting things so fast. So when things are not going my way and things are a little bit slow, it's hard because you're not used to that. But you have to have patience in this game. And you always got to keep believing and, and just manifesting and keeping good energy around you because this shit will work out. Even with the pod. It's just like a rapper sometimes. This shit ain't easy sometimes when it's not going your way. Sometimes, you're like, damn, should I still keep doing this shit or whatever? But you gotta believe and you just gotta be mentally tough and keep this shit going. From everything you went through, if there's any advice, any jewels you can give niggas, man, you being such a resilient person, a survivor, and not only that, there's two things you can pick to be. It's either you're gonna be a victim or you're gonna be victorious. And it seems like you chose to be victorious. Tell me why you chose this path, because you could have easily been a victim of your circumstances.
It really go down to who you are, what your fabric made of, where you come from, what your foundation is. And my beliefs and my foundation is strong. So my whole life was built on fighting. I'm a fighter, you know what I'm saying? I remember back when I was probably 5 years old, a nigga stole my bike, you know what I mean?
That's a famous hood story. Everybody
2
get their
years
bike
old.
stolen.
But see, the difference between me and my story is me and my pops went and found that nigga and he made me fight him. You know what I'm saying? He made me fight him, and I ain't win that one, but I won a lot after that. But I won in the lesson that it taught me. You know what I'm saying?
What lesson was that?
We fight. You know what I'm saying? I'm a fighter, dog. You know what I mean? Like, that happened. He took that from me, but guess what? I went and earned my respect back. You know what I'm saying? I got my bike back, and I got my respect back. You know what I mean? Even though I didn't win the fight, I didn't lose either. You know what I'm saying? So it taught me a valuable lesson in life. You don't never give up. You always fight. If you believe in some shit, you know what I mean, and you feel like that shit yours, and that's one thing I feel like. I feel like this Boston shit is mine. I was born to represent the city, just like Nipsey represent LA, Hov represent Brooklyn, Meek represent Philly, Boston represent, Bulga represent Boston. You know what I mean? And that's what I was born for.
Damn, that's hard. Listen, this is how I want to end it, but I got one more question because that was a good segue. You're a very creative guy. You talked about the fashion earlier.
Yes, sir.
You got a dope brand with the heart, with the machine gun going through it. Is it a hate-love concept?
It was fuck love.
Fuck love.
Yeah.
Now, my question is to end this. I know you're a scoring guy. What happened to you, my brother? It's a therapy session too, man. Like, fuck love though.
Yeah.
A dime broke your heart. A female broke you.
I mean, I think we all got our heart broken.
Absolutely, yeah.
Once, a few times.
I never made a clothing line for it though.
Nah, that wasn't my clothing line. That was like a subsidiary little, idea that I had off of the clothing line, right? DG Collectors is the clothing line. Fuck Love was like just a little, idea I came up with.
So you don't believe in relationships, none of that?
Yes, I do. I do. I believe in the right relationships. I feel like everyone in the world is somebody for everybody. But some people go through their life and never meet that somebody. You know what I'm saying?
You never met that person yet?
Me personally, I feel like, yeah, you definitely meet them people. I have. Absolutely.
You're not testifying. This is a simple question. I'm not trying to.
Yeah, but now
you watching what you're saying
a little bit, but
I'm not trying to get you in trouble and indicted tonight, man.
Yeah, yes, you is.
You passed all the tough questions already. You good.
But like I said, in relationships, I love, right? And it's different. I love my car. I love money. I love the women. The women love me. You know what I'm saying? So love is always there, but love is also building. You know what I'm saying? So any of the young brothers out there, even if you're not young, you in and out of relationships, you trying to figure it out. I think brothers should focus on the women that like you. When you focus on the women that you like, you're going to fall in a heartbreak a lot.
Sounds costly.
You know what I'm saying?
Sounds very costly.
Bulga, shout out to my team, right? But it was a lot of great women that played a part in making me to who I am today. My mom's included, but a lot of great women along the way. You know what I'm saying? That was a part of this. I remember I heard Biggie say, I made Lil' Kim lieutenant, and if I had 10 Lil' Kims, I could take over the world. You know what I'm saying?
I understand what you're saying.
Yes, I done came in accustomed of a lot of Lil' Kims along my journey, so salute to all of them. But
you need an army.
Yeah, and I feel like as a man, your foundation is important, but you got to get your own shit together first, especially nowadays. You know what I mean? That's why on the Primo song I said, all that shooting in the gym shit to, to the ladies that got boring. You know what I mean? It's like nowadays, you got to be already, your shit got to be together. So if you find someone that's willing to build with you, go through that shit with you, you know what I mean, while you still building, then that's the one for you. You know what I'm saying? That's what I feel about love. Until then, love yourself, young man.
Love yourself,
Focus
King.
on yourself.
That's my saying. Love yourself, King.
Heartbreak, man.
Shit.
It could do you in if you're not built for this shit, you know? Because I always tell fellas, sometimes we get caught up. It ain't never your bitch. It's just your turn.
That's how we're going to end it. Remember
That's
that.
it.
It's just your turn. So enjoy it, my guy. Just
Enjoy your moment.
Enjoy your moment. Listen.
Because I did. Every single one.
Listen, man. Legendary episode with a legendary guest. My nigga Smoke Bozier, man. R.I.P. Rock, man. And we're going to end it just like that, man. Forever, man. You know what it is, man. I appreciate you, man, for coming on and representing, man.
Yes.
And I'm happy I was able for you to be my first guest after a long break to start the fourth quarter, bro.
Yeah, man. Let's get this shit together, man.
And I'm wishing you more success. Keep doing your thing. Stay focused, man, and keep being great. And just keep running this marathon, man. Keep doing you.
We gonna run this motherfucking marathon, but we about to chirp in 200,000 outside, nigga. You know what I'm saying? Get y'all shit together. Bulga.
You know that.
Yeah.
And 100 million just ain't
100
enough.
million ain't enough.
It
nigga.
ain't enough.
You heard? Love.
Signing out.
Look at the game swish.
Hey, shut up. Lieutenant made this one.
Straight from the trenches, so I came in the track. Ain't nothing changed, put the gang on the map. They know the name, and the name came with racks. Came with a chain, but his chain getting stashed.